My nuts are freezing. Listen, in minus 50, your nuts would definitely be freezing. If you don't want to play Frostpunk, then you don't have to. Are you talking to me? DT, yes, you did miss the end of, you did miss the end of Soma. We completed it at the start. See, look, load game. Just completely wiped out all my saves. Now we know we shouldn't be playing with generator switches. Well, we know what to do now. We've got a better idea from the last time we played it. Right, my food's going to be on its way. I think it has a cutscene. I think it had a cutscene when I started the game, but I don't know how you make it do it again. Welcome back, Stone Cold. Cue Boom Summer.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity.
No, it's not a scare again. Nice Muttley.
We bid farewell to plenty. And for those who remained, came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north.
Why not?
We roamed for weeks.
Why?
Maybe months. Leaving behind all the things we once believed had
Go to the
made us.
equator?
It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey. And we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
It's a good cutscene, that, isn't it? I like that. Tells you what everything you need to know about the game right there. If they went to the equator, there'd be no game. What's actually going on in this game, Juju? It just said in the cutscene, we have to survive. We're the last of humanity, really. We fled London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, the convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of the generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now. The world as we know it has crumbled. We have to survive. So we start the game in a crater with a generator that's frozen. That's how this game starts. Fight the code. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we'll freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. Okay, so down the bottom right here, 65 out of 80. There are 80 of us at the moment in this city, if you want to call it that. 65 of them are working. 15 are prohibited from working. Some of their children or elderly. There are engineers and there are workers. Engineers are the brains. The workers are the manual. Some jobs you can do with both. Some require an engineer, some require a worker. Not Whiteland scent.
It's a stamp.
Yeah, it's a kind of a stamp.
Is it like a steak press?
Nearly.
Steak.
Burger.
A burger press.
It's a
Make your own burger.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
I'm so happy. I
So
make
now
them all
you
the
can get
time.
exactly. She makes them all the time, but now you can get consistent burgers with stripes on them. So when we do barbecues, we'll have homemade burgers in a consistent shape. He's a genius. The guy's a genius.
Well done. Oh, I'm gonna get some mincemeat and have go tomorrow.
Oh, all right. You should so have a go at making some burgers.
You take it. Thank you.
Right, I'm gonna have to eat some food here. I'll turn the camera off for a second while I nom nom. So yeah, hopefully that explains briefly what's going on. So we have to manage a couple of things here. We have to manage people's hope, like the will to carry on, and their discontent. If they become too discontented with the way things are, the way we're managing things, they will just break out into fights and bad things will happen.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
It is indeed Muttley, but it'll get used indirectly by me. Thank you for 8 months underscore. So this is wood. We use wood for structures. This is steel. We'll use that in structures as well. This is coal. This is what we need to fire up the generator. Now this is a coal deposit, but we need a mine to extract that. Whereas this is like just coal on the ground that we can go and collect. So I kind of feel like we should play the dictator again. El Squirrel rather than Father Squirrel. Exactly, Hendo. I will profit from the burger press. No, I've got steak and mashed potato in a sauce. Can we pass a law now? Let the hate flow through you, lol. Child labour, safe jobs. There aren't enough hands to do all the work. Will allow children to be employed in safe houses, like cookhouses or hot houses.
Happy anniversary.
That's something that needs to happen. Cemetery or corpse disposal. Sustain life or radical treatment. These are some of the decisions we'll have to make. Food additives or soup. Lona, thank you for 30 months. We can cook soup instead of full meals to feed the people with the same amount of raw food, or food additives. We can add sawdust to meals to make them more filling, although not exactly tasty or healthy. I think the first law we should pass is probably going to be child labour. This we don't need unless they start getting really upset with each other. See, Joshua? This is useful. Like in a pinch, if you need to work people longer, this is good. If you choose child shelters, you can later make them help in research or medicine. I didn't know that. The problem is you can't see. You can't see further down the tree very well. Like you can only see to here. Medic apprentices, engineer apprentices.
Welcome back, Nutter.
That's actually an interesting choice, you know. The problem is, when will that unlock? Because having kids doing the engineering or medicine is not a bad idea. I think we'll go with that initially.
Happy anniversary.
We'll get it signed and then the because when you pass a law, you're on a cooldown now, so we may as well start the cooldown. Thank you for 5 months, Funky Spaniel. Welcome back, John25. Okay. We're gonna need wood. So we'll stick 5 on that. Coal pile. Okay, we'll have 5 on that. Okay, so most people are going to go and do coal. Some will do wood. And some will do steel. And then as they start to gather stuff, we'll start building houses and stuff. Lower the volume on what? Now, food is a problem. We don't have any way of getting food currently. Harvest more sawdust, why? Now we've got 80 people are homeless. Do we focus on tents or a workshop? Because if we don't get tents up pretty quickly, people are going to start getting ill. I don't know, Vardinator. It's not a matter of how much time you've got left to start the generator. It's just a matter of people will get cold unless you do, and then they start to get sick, and then they start to die. We've almost got enough to start it.
Aye, 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 aye.
We'll just build a bit of a stockpile and get it going. Funky Spaniel, thank you for the 5 months of fun you have given me. Sorry, but I can only watch for about 20 minutes as I'm playing trumpet in the Blackpool Tower Ballroom tonight and need to get there. Dude, good luck. Brill. I've got almost 300 cold. It's only minus 20 at the moment, so it's chilly, but we can deal with it. We'll turn the generator on at the end of the day. So basically it's saying, great, you've got coal, now you need to sort the food problem out. The only way to do that is to get the research going. see on the 4th day the temperature is going to drop 2 levels. So it'll go down to minus 40 at that point. So the heating radius on this is only quite small at the moment. Funky Monkey, I just wore a retainer at night. No, Flug, the most you can zoom in is this, annoyingly. Okay, so the first thing we need to do Hunter's gear. Thanks to better snowshoes and enhanced camouflage, hunters setting out from the hunter's hut will return with more raw food from each hunt. So that's going to take 7 hours, but that's going to give us 20 raw food, so that's definitely worth doing. Chris Knight 4, the reason I had to start over because the game deleted my saves when it updated from the pre-release stream version. It then went to the full version and got rid of my saves. Yeah, but I'm just thinking of research, Floaty. Faster gathering is good as well. Coal thumper we don't need just yet. Each coal heater. Heaters we don't need just yet. The steam hub we don't need just yet. We'll go with Hunter's gear. Not enough wood. Okay. Six months from the cover to golden nut battery. Thank you for 18 months. They should give you the option to save your game. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody saw it coming. It just happened. Right, let's fast forward to... So we've got 10 homeless. A couple of people are starting to get sick now because they're wandering around outside in the cold. Resource shortage. We're getting short on resources. Our needs are great and grown by the hour. To address this, we can enact a law that will allow us to extend working hours. Yep.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
So we can get people now to work longer hours, which they're not going to be happy with. Discontent's gone up, of course. So first thing we need is one of these. Doesn't actually matter where we build this. This building does not need to be heated. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a street down the side of this. Because we'll have to come down here anyway.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Man's 2034, thank you for 18 months. How many hunters' huts do you think we need? I guess we can only afford 10 people initially anyway. Hey, Mr. D. Needs to be heated for whoever's working it. No, not the hunter's hut. Because nobody actually works in it. That's the weird thing. Because what happens when they're a hunter is they set off at night and go hunting. They don't actually occupy it. Well, this hunter's hut employs 10, not 15, Dave. Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they will still be out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. We'll do all we can. Okay, I need to get people. I wish I'd never built that one actually. So we need to move this later because we need space to put things here. But we'll just have to do that when we can. We've only been playing Frostpunk about 15-20 minutes. So we're going to have to take workers from probably here. Put them in here. Oh, hang on, they're not built yet. Steel wreckage depleted. Blimey, that was quick. Got 465 steel on the go. You're watching MASH on TV. Wood crates. Let's get some people in there. Actually, we could put them in there, couldn't we? I don't know if this is going to get built in time for the night's hunt. Okay, that's one lot of research. Resources, coal thumper, sawmill. So that's useful when the wood planks start to run out. The beacon allows us to start sending a scout. Which is probably worth doing. My opinion on the game so far, I've been following for a bit, so tempted to buy it. It's not for everybody, but if it's your kind of game, it's really well polished and well balanced, so... But some people might not like the kind of setting. Because 11-bit tend to kind of go for dark futures, that's how their settings tend to be.
Put down your tools.
Oh, you scumbag. We're going to miss the hunt, look at that. I think it goes at 7 o'clock, and we're just about going to miss it. What a scumbag. Look at that. 7 o'clock.
Ay.
That's really annoying. Well, that can now gather 20 per day when it gets going. So then we need somewhere to cook it. Squirrel Logistics, 1500 bits. Thank you very much, Squirrel Logistics. Thank you for the bits. Much appreciate the support. Right, we've got 15 workers doing nothing. Medical posts we can ignore just for now. We need a cookhouse now. Now, the cookhouse is a building people work in. But hopefully... we can just put the heating individually on it if we need the heating. So we'll put it next to the workshop. How many people have we got homeless now? House citizens. Alright, we've got all 80. We've got vacant beds as well. That's good. So everybody's in bed, which means things are good, but we still need to build a medical outpost. I don't fly, but I love watching your old plane simulators. I narrowly avoided a major plane crash. Yeah, essentially, Chris, yeah. Some kind of Ice Age thing, scenario, yeah, totally. We could pass a new law shortly if you want to. People from our convoy. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind. Build a beacon. Scout Frostland and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. You need a workshop to design plans. We've already done that. So anyway, here's the cookhouse. So we'll put some people in here. I don't think we'll need to extend our working hours. I don't think. There you go. So that, at the moment, that's fine. But when the temperature drops, that will be too cold. The goal of the game is to survive. Right then. So the question is, what do we focus on next? Soma Frostpunk, is it post-apocalypse Saturday? Hey, we did some Fernbus. So this is the wing you go down when you've got discontent that you need to get under control. This is what you go down when you've not getting enough food. This one you inevitably have to go down along with this one because you're going to have to deal with people getting ill and dying. And this one is about what you're doing with your kids. This time I'm going to go down the child shelter route. Hope will rise, providing all children with a place in a child shelter gives a permanent hope bonus. You will have to build a child shelter, so let's get down this route.
Hear me,
That put the hope up a little bit.
law in the city.
And what are they going to do all day? Watch the snow fall? Kids could do something useful during their time in the shelter. And so they will. Now, if they're bringing 20 food, and the cookhouse is going to convert that into... what was that? What's the ratio? What's the ratio of raw food to cooked food from the cookhouse? So at the moment we haven't got enough, so we're going to have to build another hunter's hut over here. One raw is 2 cooked, right, so with 2 hunters and the research thing, we're going to be producing enough food for 80 people. So that puts us in a holding pattern. So we can put 10 workers in there, which will leave no workers left. We have 5 people sick, we're going to have to build a med bay. Okay, the cold spell is about to approach. I believe so, JC, yeah. I have played this game before, Dave. We got pretty advanced last week with this game. We had automatons running around. I don't think I was that far from the end as well. And then it reset my game. Yeah, we got down to minus 70 though at one point. Hey Mimo Sparkfield, how you doing?
The work shift starts.
Right, so the cookhouse has got stuff to do. Right, so they're going to turn 108 raw food. Going to convert it into meals, which will get much better consumption of that raw food. Hey, Mikey. How many people are working there? 15.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
from the med bay in. I think it did, Devrow. That's exactly what it did, because I had a preview copy. Coal pile depleted. Okay, we'll go there then. Don't walk home, go there. Oi! Stop it! You scumbags!
Happy anniversary.
Don't walk back.
Nutter.
So yeah, we're going to start thinking about more long-term coal. Because I don't think there's much coal left here. Only a few left. Iskavan, thank you for 23 months, almost 2 years. Versa, thanks for 5. Right, the beacon is researched. So now we can think about something else. Let's see. Allows us to build steam hubs. Allows us to use heaters to heat our workplaces during the winter hours. I think this is probably something we're going to need. Because when the cold comes, which it's about to, we can at least turn on the heating where we need it. Which won't be very much, but at least we can do it. Faster gathering would also be very useful. It's only 15% though.
Happy anniversary. Nutter.
J9, thank you for 25 months. Jew wants to say thank you, Paul. Been an ETS2 player since launch. You only learned about the camera zoom from your 131 video. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you, Jew. A few people said that. I was quite surprised.
Welcome back. Nutter.
How can one person be hungry? That's insane. Got 173 food. How can we be hungry? We need to pass this law that lets us put children in the, Wait a second. We need a child shelter and we need a beacon. A place of 15 children during work hours. But we're going to pass a law anyway, aren't we, that makes them work. So I think the beacon is the most important thing. We've just about got enough materials to build one. The beacon we're going to build far out over here. Yeah, the green road was here. This was green when I put it down, so it's connected to a road. Can't take people off that. Let's treat our people. Actually, there's only 7 hungry. Wait a second, I thought they were ill. Beacon built. From now on, our people will be able to survey the icy barrens that surround us. They were, now they're below the bar, whole bar being treated. That's fine. Because once they get gravely ill, you can't treat them unless you build like the next level of medic bay, which we can't do yet. Okay, do we want to go to the Lost Expedition or the Observatory? I say Lost Expedition. Wait, did that just work?
Workday ends. It's off time.
Create a new scout team. God, need more people. Oh god. Got 15 on the coal, so the coal supply is looking good. We could probably back off on the coal a little bit right now. Heaters have been researched, that's good. Not enough wood. Let's put them in there for a minute. People cheer as a giant observation balloon soars above the city. This is a real feat. Everyone feels proud of the work that they've done to make it happen. Volunteers line up, eager to go forward for our people in the Frostland. The woman who came forward here is among them. We needed a win. Two sick absences, blimey. 5 are being treated. Okay, so if we can get them from becoming gravely ill, that's a good thing to do. Now, when the cold snap comes now, if we want to, we can turn the heating on here. Because at the moment, these two buildings are okay. But when the temperature drops, they won't be okay. Until we can research tech that unlocks the radius of that thing. Exploration industry, resources. I think a sawmill might be a good idea, so we can start working on the trees and give us a lot more wood than we're getting. I feel like we're a little bit coal starved at the moment. Mikey, you kind of don't unlock different destinations. You always build in the same crater, but your scouts kind of spread out and discover different things, which progresses the storyline. Yeah, they do duck back. I mean, I've watched other people play this game, and you're right, they do approach it in different ways. Hater killer. It got deleted, Beaker, when the game updated. What happened to Fernbus? So, at the start of Fernbus, we decided what games we were going to play, and we decided we were going to play Fernbus and then Frostpunk. Right, I'm going to get a sawmill, because I'm pretty certain we need it. And then pretty soon I might go for level 2 tech. Because I want to increase the radius of the heating. Because we need to start gathering this wood here. These sawmills will produce a lot more wood. Steel's pretty low, we're not gathering any more. That could be a problem soon. Some steel there, there's some steel here. We need to build a scout. We're gonna need more wood, more people. Well, Floaty, I can't get the children working yet until we get this. Either medic apprentices. Education is a key to our future. Let's teach our children medicine so they can help with the sick. Children from child shelters will help at medical facilities, raising their efficiency. Or engineer apprentices. Children from child shelters will help at workshops, speeding up research. I kind of fancy engineer. I kind of fancy that being able to research quicker is probably a better thing. than being able to just heal people quicker. Because if you've not got anybody, if you've not got people that are ill, then your medic apprentices are doing nothing, basically. Whereas with this, you're always going to be researching something. So I think I'd rather have that. Right, we do need to build child shelters, but we need wood for the scout first, so we're going to do that first. Crikey, that got researched pretty fast. We're going to have to start thumping coal pretty soon, but not yet. Wood for that, what a scumbag. Well, the child shelters, this is the thing, JN, you've got choices to make. You can either put your children to work as workers, or you can build child shelters and then have them work in helping out to do research. So, but that's kind of a more hopeful route than the other one. So again, it's just one of the decisions you have to make. Tess Brugger, thank you for subbing. Can we give Tess Brugger and Nutty Walking, guys? Thank you for your support. See, I don't like that. Because you're not gathering stuff for very long. So that kind of benefit quickly becomes moot.
Welcome back, Nutter.
A cold thumper, on the other hand. But I think I'd rather do this when we get the wood. But we've got a priority for our wood right now. Now we can do the sawmill. Oh, it's not finished yet. Oh, no. Stobart Volvo, welcome back. Gathering is used later and gathering post. Okay. It's only 15% though. It's not a lot. The thumpers are pretty good. Wow, why did discontent just rise? I think it's because of the weather. Yeah, it's a temperature. Right, so if we look at that now, you can see that this is a problem. Because they're pretty cold here. The tents are cold, the buildings are cold. These are really cold. So people are going to start getting ill. There's nothing we can do. Like they're having to work out here in minus 40 temperatures. It's not great. So that is about to get used quite a lot. Temperature goes back at 1 level in 2 days' time. Right, we're gonna have to nick 5 citizens. How much wood do we need? 40. Come on, we've nearly got 40. Yeah, we could overdrive the generator. I'd rather not unless people start getting really ill, you know? Okay, we'll send a scout party out here. Wood and 5 steel. We are getting low on steel. You're welcome, JC. Legit, Rob, it's kind of a survival game. Management survival. Tutorial, Mikey. Yeah, well, it's not so much a tutorial, but when you start playing it, it kind of guides you through a lot of stuff with this here. It explains a lot of the concepts, like the camera controls, then it explains resources to you, how to slow things down, construction and how you need to have streets, the generator and how you've got different levels of gen, the range settings, the overdrive settings, and then it explains temperature and how it makes people ill, the research tech tree, the workforce, engineers versus workers and children, illness, how to treat people, then the day-night cycle and how people work specified hours, and then you can make them work longer. You can even do a 24-hour emergency shift if you need it. Hunters, how they go out and gather food, how you convert the food, raw food, into meals, and how the different buildings affect that. Then the beacon, which is how you send scouts out to find new things. Weather changes and how things get very, very cold. When it says here, when it gets colder outside, the temperature inside drops as well. Buildings differ in the amount of protection they offer, so you can get like tents, and then you've got homes, and obviously there's different protection from the weather. And then the generator overdrive, which is something that you just have to do now and again, which consumes a lot more coal, chucks out a lot more heat, gets you through a cold snap, but equally you can only run that for so long before it blows up, and if it blows up, it's game over. I have played Banished, but not much. Where are they going? Oh, they're the hunters, I think. Sawmill has been researched. That is good news, because now we can start thinking about building a sawmill. 10 wood, the irony. Right, so if we build this down here, or maybe here, like the closest we can get. To this. We're going to have to get these resources anyway, so might as well go over here with it. It's not a lot of wood. Frostbite. So somebody's become gravely ill. Now the problem with gravely ill is we can't treat it yet. So now we have to think about which law we're going to pass. We can either go for radical treatment, where we try everything to cure the ill, including invasive surgery to perform amputations. Bear in mind, if somebody gets frostbite in their leg, we have to amputate them. They can no longer work, but they carry on eating until later on, where you can get amputees to work for you or sustain life. The gravely ill will be kept alive in medical posts, so you don't amputate them, but you keep them in a medical bay, but they're taking up space in your medical bay. But they don't die. Or you let them die, in which case you then need to think about burial. But for now, there's nothing we can do with that guy. Right, we need to get 50 wood now. Come on, guys, get some more wood. The next one after Sustain Life is a place to hold all the untreatables so they're not in the medical base anymore. Yep. Well, that was my thought, Costa Coffee Fan. El Squirrelo is more thinking along the lines of, well, if you're not well, you're no use, right? So why would I keep you alive? You know, in the words of Scrooge, what was it he said? Something like, if they're going to die, they should just get on with it and reduce the surplus population or something like that. That's the mind of a dictator. You can't work? Oh well. Better die then. Need to get this thing connected. That's harsh, El Squirrelo. Boeing, do you know what a dictator is? Now, if we were playing Father Squirrelo, that would be a different story. We'd take a completely different view. But we're not.
End of shift. Go rest all who can.
Come on, finish the building. There we go. Right, so we'll take these people out of here. We'll stick them in here. And we'll put it on overtime. I'm actually tempted to stick them on a 24-hour shift. Now, given that it's so darn cold out here, we'll stick the heating on. We're okay for cold at the moment, but people are getting ill because they're having to work out in these temperatures. Shoot. Thank you for the host. A dictator seems more fun. Right, we need wood desperately. I'm just going to stick them on a 24-hour shift. So they're getting pretty unhappy about that, but it's tough, isn't it? Scouts have reached the last expedition. Here we go. So the scout has gone out and they've made it to this expedition. Now we can explore the area. Happy reunion. We enter the camp preparing out of the driving snow. A choir of excited voices welcomes us. Thank God you found us. We've been wandering for days until we couldn't go any longer. Soon we'd begin to starve. Children and adults surround us, packed and ready to go. Now this is where you get a choice. You can either get the scout to bring them back, in which case you'll end up with 4 kids, 10 engineers and 22 workers, or you tell them to go back, in which case some of them will get lost. Now, the advantage of this one is you get everybody back safely. The advantage of this one is your scout can carry on and do something else, but you may not get everybody back safely. So I think we're going to escort them. Well, the thing is, Taipan, I don't have any wood. This is why I've just put them on a 24-hour shift. Because we need wood. There we go. We've got 20 wood now. So now we can build child shelter. And they will help boost the research. and then we can do level 2 research.